Hey, architecture firm owners and emerging leaders. Get ready for unparalleled insight into the development of a world-class architecture firm and a worldwide organization driving the digital transformation of the design and construction industry. With Build Smart, the podcast that's changing how our profession operates. We share the incredible stories behind innovation in the building industry with my friend and co-host, Patrick McLeamy, FAIA, former CEO of the international architecture firm, HOK.
You know, Yamasaki's office or firm lasted during his lifetime. And when he passed away, I think that was the end of the Yamasaki office. Helmut did not want that. He wanted a firm that would live out and grow beyond the founders.
In Season 1, discover the untold stories behind HOK's meteoric rise, from 150 employees in St. Louis to a powerhouse with over 1,900 staff members and 27 offices worldwide.
You know, they weren't as polite as the Kojima people. That was just boom. And anytime you have a creditor, whether it's Kojima or the bank, that wants their money, unless you can raise money someplace else, you are out of business.
Bankrupt. And hold on tight for Season 2, where Patrick takes us on a new adventure as chairman of Building Smart International, shaping the future of digital transformation in the design, construction, and operation of built assets.
Ian Howell, Ken Harold, and I, Ken was my technical representative from HOK. The three of us took a tour of Europe of 5 cities in 5 days. Very busy time.
Simply follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Smart now and uncover lessons that will transform you and your architecture firm. Hey, architecture firm owners and emerging leaders. Get ready for unparalleled insight into the development of a world-class architecture firm and a worldwide organization driving the digital transformation of the design and construction industry. With Build Smart, the podcast that's changing how our profession operates. We share the incredible stories behind innovation in the building industry with my friend and co-host, Patrick McLeamy, FAIA, former CEO of the international architecture firm, HOK.
You know, Yamasaki's office or firm lasted during his lifetime. And when he passed away, I think that was the end of the Yamasaki office. Helmut did not want that. He wanted a firm that would live out and grow beyond the founders.
In Season 1, discover the untold stories behind HOK's meteoric rise, from 150 employees in St. Louis to a powerhouse with over 1,900 staff members and 27 offices worldwide.
You know, they weren't as polite as the Kojima people. That was just boom. And anytime you have a creditor, whether it's Kojima or the bank, that wants their money, unless you can raise money someplace else, you are out of business.
Bankrupt. And hold on tight for Season 2, where Patrick takes us on a new adventure as chairman of Building Smart International, shaping the future of digital transformation in the design, construction, and operation of built assets.
Ian Howell, Ken Harold, and I, Ken was my technical representative from HOK. The three of us took a tour of Europe of 5 cities in 5 days. Very busy time.
Simply follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Smart now and uncover lessons that will transform you and your architecture firm. Welcome to the EntreArchitect Studio. Hi, my name is Mark R. LePage, and you are listening to EntreArchitect Podcast, where every Friday I speak with inspiring, passionate people who share their knowledge and expertise, all to help you build a better business as a small firm entrepreneur architect. EntreArchitect Studio is a series of special bonus episodes where I invite inspiring, passionate people to share their knowledge and information about the building products and the services to help you build better buildings. I'm glad you're here. Let's go see who's joining us today at the EntreArchitect Studio. And one more quick note before we get started. This episode was recorded live at AIA Conference in Chicago at the ARCAT booth under the big red A. So please enjoy the background noise as an added feature to this episode. Let's get to it. So who are you and what do you do?
Mark, I'm at Edrosa and I work for Behr Paint Company. I'm a product manager handling the pro business. I've been with Behr for the last 5.5 years. Prior to going to Behr, working for Behr, I worked for various paint brands, regional and national, Sherwin-Williams, Dunn-Edwards, Frazee, Comex.
So paints everything.
Paints everything for me, yes.
Before we started recording, you said that your family was in.
Yeah, both my parents are chemists. They were with Dunn-Edwards for 20 years. My mom is actually one of the lead chemists at Dunn-Edwards. One of her claim to fame when she was there was her coating was used on the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
So she created the formula?
She created and formulated the whole thing.
Wow. So paint is that's all you know.
Yeah.
That's your whole life.
I've been born into paint.
Yeah. You had no choice.
Exactly. Yeah. It's one of those things that I've enjoyed it. It's very fascinating. It's a very highly evolving industry. There's been a lot of changes over the years.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. I'm an architect. I've been in the profession for 25 years. I've seen change in paint since I started. And so tell me a little bit about that. In the last 2 decades, let's say, massive changes in the paint industry, right? So just talk about that a little bit.
Well, one of the probably most obvious one is that, there's more stringent regulations. VOC limits reduction on architectural coatings, especially in regions like California. There's a segment in California called the South Coast AQMD.
Mm-hmm.
They have the most stringent VOC regulations in the country, more so than any of the other districts in the U.S.
Yeah, and when the VOCs became something that we started being aware of, right? And paint companies were forced to respond to it, right?
Yes.
Because it was environmental issues. Early on, VOC paint was sort of iffy, right? The formulas weren't so great; they weren't as durable. That's changed, right? Things have changed since then, right?
It's been a radical change. In the first, at the onset of low VOC paints, there was a trade-off in performance. But over the years, I think there's been a collaboration between raw material suppliers, and they found, a way to develop resins, pigments, additives that work well in low VOC formulation. So it's come a long way. There's still some room for improvement. But a lot of the newer lower VOC paints and even zero VOC paints are actually just as durable or more durable than high VOC paints.
Yeah, I mean the formulas now are so advanced. It's not just some pigment in a bucket of latex anymore.
Exactly.
It's a specific formulation now.
Yeah.
So tell me about your position. You're working with pros, working with architects, right?
Yeah. I support the pro team for Behr. So whether these are reps who call on contractors, painting contractors, GCs. We have reps who call architects, designers.
Yep.
So I support that team. Make sure
the whole industry,
pretty much
the pro side
of things.
So in terms of pro versus consumer.
Yes, exactly.
Right,
so I'm less focused on the DIYer.
Right.
Although some of the products that I manage have a touch of the DIY consumer customers.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I would say, if I were to put a percentage, it would be like 95% pro, 5% DIY.
Yeah. Is there any specific programs that you're working with that helps that process of communicating and specifying paints for pros?
Yeah. So as you may already know, Behr really has been a newcomer in the pro space. We've Behr's been known as a strong DIY brand
Right.
because it's association with Home Depot.
Yep.
But it's only been in the last 11, 12 years that we've kind of put our imprint in the pro space. There's been a lot of programs, obviously products. You have to have products that cater to pros, much different than products that are specific to DIYers. So products that are more designed to have great application properties, to make them make them go in and out of those jobs, return to service faster.
Yeah.
So
Is there anything specific that makes Behr unique that is offered to the pros
uh, unique.
in
Well,
terms of service or product?
yeah, I mean, product probably. I would say Behr is highly invested in product innovation. So our parent company Masco grants us some funds to innovate in the space, whether it's paints and coatings or other adjacencies. Like last year, we ventured into the caulks and sealants space. We launched our caulks and sealants.
Mhm.
It's doing quite well at Home Depot. We're actually in almost 1,200 stores now, looking to have a national footprint by the end of the year.
Very interesting. So, is there any type of well, talk a little bit about that transition, because I think when architects hear Behr, right, they associate it with that DIY
Hmm.
paint. So, what has happened since then to help uh, provide those services to architects
Yeah, so I think one of the things
and other pros?
yeah,
Yeah.
so one of the things that probably stand out is we're in MPI. We have a lot of MPI approved products. If you look at our um, list of approved products, you can see that we've grown that list, considerably
Yeah.
over the last few years. We're continuing to add more products. Even some of the DIY products are now being qualified under MPI,
Yeah.
which we know MPI has a very strong presence in the architectural community.
Yeah, yeah. You've been in the industry a long time, as you had mentioned.
Yep, 30 plus years.
Specifically 30 plus years. So talk about how the industry's changed in that amount of time.
Well, one of the obvious ones is that you have very fewer players. Back in the 80s, 90s, you have a lot of regional brands.
Yeah,
In California, there's like tons of them that have been absorbed by the national brands, primarily Sherwin-Williams and PPG. So now there's very few players that kind of compete for share of wallet with the pros. Obviously, Sherwin-Williams is a pretty strong contender. PPG, Benjamin Moore, and Behr is, obviously now in the thick of the race.
yeah,
You know, um, we've kind of evolved from a DIY brand into more of a hybrid brand, like a DIY and pro.
yeah. For architects, we're here at the AIA convention.
Mhm.
For architects, do you have local reps that are repping? How,
Yeah.
how do architects get in touch and connect with their reps so they can get their samples and help with specifications and those kind of things?
Yeah, so we do have regional architectural reps. They have responsibility for specific areas. If someone needs information about architectural rep, actually design rep as well, they can go to our website. There's like contact information there. Um, they can find out what rep calls in their area. So it's pretty easy to get that information.
Yeah, yeah. And do you work extensively with ARCAT?
Not directly, but, we have a person in our office that handles the specifications. So he works with ARCAT, uh, SpecLink, other specification platforms.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So what about the trade, Ed? You've been in the profession for 30 years. You've probably seen the way, we talked a little bit about the changes from the design side and the specification side. What about the application side, the installation side, with contractors and painting contractors? How have you seen changes there?
yeah, there's been a huge change in the painting trade specifically. I I spend a lot of time in the field because I enjoy working with pros. I think the best way to learn pros is to engage with them. So one of the things I commonly observe is that the workmanship is sort of lacking. They're not as craft, they don't have the same skill set as painters from years past.
Yeah.
They don't because they don't get the proper training and guidance.
Do you think that's a lot of that is because of the boom in the industry of so many buildings being built, and there's just like anybody can pick up a paintbrush and they're a painter? You know, that competition, prices drop because of that.
I think that's a contributing factor, but I think one thing that really is driving that is you know when you look at the entire construction business, the painting trade is really the least desirable. They don't have they're not as compensated as much as other trades.
Yeah.
So we saw a shift of painters going to other trades because they're more financially rewarding for them.
Yeah, yeah, and I think there's a misunderstanding of of paint, right?
Mhm.
Of not only the paint, the product, but paint the service. That as a residential architect, it's the first thing that clients want to take out of the contract. They think they can do it themselves, right? They can go down to Home Depot and buy a can of Behr paint on the DIY side and a paintbrush, and they can go put color on the wall. But it's a very different
Oh,
paint
definitely.
job than a professional.
Yeah, one thing I would always say is like you can make a great paint look bad,
Yeah,
and you can make a bad paint look good, just because of
the skill.
the skill.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So you were saying before we started recording that you also do apprenticeship.
yeah, so I'm currently an instructor for the Southern California PDCA program. We actually partner with one of the community colleges there, Cerritos College. We get to use their venue for our classes. It's a combination of lecture and hands-on. At the end of every module, we put them in like a painting activity. We do a painting project. We kind of have them apply what they learn in class. And yeah, this is a 3-year program that advances apprentices to a journeyman status. So they could either continue working with their painting contractor firms, or they can branch out into their own painting business.
Yeah. So it gives them the opportunity and the skill to be able to go out and start their own business or become much more desirable and valuable to their employees or employers.
Yep.
So they make more money, and the contractors actually have more skilled.
Oh yeah, actually the contractors fund. They send their workers to our program because it's mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the contractors don't have time to train their employees. So, by using our program, we're able to make their workers more skilled,
Yeah.
and that translates to better results in their jobs.
Yeah. What about the future for Behr Paint? What's coming down the line?
There's a lot of things.
Give us an inside scoop.
Well, you know what? Something that we just recently launched is an antiviral and antibacterial paint.
Oh, interesting.
It's called Copper Force. It was 7 years in the making, but the real work happened in the last 2 years. It got
Yeah.
accelerated by
Sure.
the pandemic, and it's a proven technology. We partner with Corning, which is a glass manufacturing company. So we use their technology that takes the most bioactive form of copper to provide the virus and bacteria killing properties.
So it's actually killing the virus and
On
the
the
bacteria.
painted surface, yes.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah.
There's a window of time that it
Right.
that it kills 99.9% of the virus and bacteria that comes in contact.
So it's a
with the
product
surface.
that was started before the pandemic.
Oh, yeah, it was
and
like
it accelerated when there was a need for it,
Exactly.
or a massive need
Mhm.
for it. There's always a need for it for sure,
hmm
but now there's a global need for it. I think
Yeah.
there's probably a huge demand for that. So you've rolled that out now.
We rolled it out in 4 states. One of the unique things about this product is it's not like your other ordinary paint product. We had to go through a rigorous EPA registration process, and after we secured our EPA registration, we had to work with individual states to get our product approved. And every state is different.
Is that because of the claim? or because of the
claim,
product?
because of the claim.
Yeah.
Because there's a health-based claim that you can kill, 99.9% of virus and bacteria that causes disease.
Yeah.
So that's why it's more it's mandated and there's oversight by government agencies.
Yeah. Well, this has been very interesting. I learned a whole bunch about paint. I didn't know anything about antiviral paint or antibacterial paint. And so interesting that it's coming down the line.
Yeah, I think that's one of the technologies that's going to be, in the forefront of coatings technology.
Yeah, I can imagine that becoming a standard.
Yeah.
In the future. Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate
Sounds
you
good.
coming by. All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Take care.
Appreciate it.
If you liked this episode of the EntreArchitect podcast, please share a rating on your podcast player right now. Go ahead, click 5 stars. Then write a review and share a link to this special episode with a friend. This episode of the EntreArchitect Studio, it was brought to you by ARCAT, the online resource delivering quality building material information, CAD details, BIM, specifications, and so much more, all for free at arcat.com. Go check them out, arcat.com. EntreArchitect is a member of Gable Media, the largest, most engaged podcast network in the world that's dedicated exclusively to the AEC industry. Listen and subscribe to all the shows at gablemedia.com. That's GABL media.com. If you offer building products or serve the AEC industry and you want to join me here at the EntreArchitect Studio, let's connect. Send me an email at podcast@entrearchitect.com. That's podcast@entrearchitect.com. Thanks for listening to this special episode here at the EntreArchitect Studio. I'll be back with our next regular episode of the EntreArchitect podcast this Friday. Until then, love, learn, and share what you know.
Imagine earning continuing education credits while doing exactly what you're doing right now. Well, you can. Gable Media has revolutionized the way you earn your continuing education credits with a groundbreaking approach. Forget running around town and scouring the internet for credit-worthy courses. Fulfill your CE requirements effortlessly by listening to engaging podcasts just like the one you're listening to now. Our podcasts are designed to educate, entertain, and inspire, all in a user-friendly environment. But wait, there's more. Architects, Gable Media is also approved as an AIA continuing education services provider. Upon completion, we handle everything, from reporting your hours directly to the AIA to storing your certificates in your personal Gable Media profile for your self-reporting needs. So follow the link in the show notes and start earning your credits in the most innovative and entertaining way possible with Gable Media.
Attention architects and creative minds, get ready to supercharge your brand with Build Your Brand, the podcast that's unlocking the secrets of branding success for creatives. Hey there, it's Mark Arlepage, founder of EntreArchitect, and I'm inviting you to join my friend, architect marketing expert Jeff Eccles at Build Your Brand podcast, where he explores the captivating stories of the world's top brands and transforms their lessons into powerful moves for small firm architects and creatives like you. In Season 1, Jeff shares the thrilling tale of Southwest Airlines, where he dissects their journey to the summit and distills it into strategies tailor-made for you.
It's important to keep in mind that companies like Southwest compete in the real world, just like you, and face real-world challenges, just like you. You might be surprised at how similar those challenges are to the struggles that you grapple with on a day-to-day basis.
Don't miss out on your blueprint for success. Subscribe, tune in, and let's build your brand together.
You may have noticed that the very best brands in the world are also known for having somewhat unique corporate cultures. That's often the glue that holds everything together when they encounter those rough spots.
We don't do it because it inconveniences the passengers to whom we are primarily dedicated, the short haul, frequent flyer.
Follow the link in the show notes to subscribe to Build Your Brand today. Remember, no matter the size, the journey's the same. Your brand's journey to the top starts here.